them. And I'm one of the UNT admissions counselors, and I will be the counselor for the area. So if you have any questions about anything, admissions process, or you just want to reach out to say, hey, where do I need to go? What are my next steps? I'm here even once you get admitted for you. But I never started my video. But I'm going to start the presentation, and I see we have one student. So if you pronounce your name Janet, I'm going to assume. If not, please correct me. And also, please feel free to interject with any questions you may have, especially with a group, this small. Please just go ahead and ask me any questions that you may have. Trying to let this person. Okay, perfect. Hi, Andre. I'm going to.
Hi, how you doing?
My name is Sheree. I'm one of the admissions counselors for UNT. All right, I'm going to start this presentation. So, as you all may know, this is UNT, and actually, I'm really excited for when UNT looks like this. It looks like this every single winter. They put the trees all throughout our library mall, and what we're looking at right there is our McConnell Tower, and it turns bright green whenever UNT wins a game. So it doesn't have to be football; it can be basketball, soccer, golf, swimming. Even some other sport, cross country. If UNT has a victory, our campus is going to be lit bright green, and it's just a really fun place, especially to be at night when it's this beautiful. But a little bit about UNT and our location. So we are located in Denton, Texas. So we're in the DFW area, about an hour above Dallas or north of Dallas. And then we also have a Frisco location, which is actually a great place for anyone who actually wants to get involved with the Cowboys. We're right across from the Cowboys practice facilities. So we have a lot of UNT alum and current UNT students. They go intern there and they go work there. And it's really easy because it's literally a walk across the street, and you get to interact with those players, coaches, and other staff on the Cowboys. So, just things to think about when you are looking at UNT. And we are the only university with a professional sports team sponsorship and partnership. So, we got those really cool connections. But as you all may know, y'all are from Texas. The DFW area has a lot to offer, especially downtown Dallas. It has 24 of the Fortune 500 companies and 3 in the top 10, which is really fun because I actually interned for a Fortune 10 company. I interned for AT&T down in downtown Dallas, and then I also interned for AT&T in Los Angeles. So just that connection, being so close to home and being so close to campus, it actually gave me the opportunity to go a little bit further and all the way to the West Coast to go do my internship and have a great time. But some other facts about UNT. We were founded in 1890. We were founded on top of a hardware store in the Denton Square, which is our little downtown area. There's a lot of mom and pop shops, a lot of little like parades and festivals. We're really big on music up here in Denton. So we have several jazz festivals throughout the year. And even if you're not into jazz, I promise, if you're into music, you're really going to enjoy it. And we are a Carnegie classified Tier 1 research university. And that basically means that from your undergraduate to your graduate, whatever major you are, you're going to be able to find research opportunities. Just a couple of years ago, they had a research opportunity in Germany, and they said, hey, no matter what your major is, we're going to go ahead and give you a scholarship if you apply and you do your essay, your interviews. We're going to give you a scholarship to go do research in Germany, no matter your major. So there's opportunities for everyone to get involved and further education, even if you want to do it for a semester just to get out of the country, basically paid for, you can't really turn that down. But some other facts is that we do have over 230 academic programs. Our student to faculty ratio is pretty small. It's just like a high school, 25-1. So once you get to your major classes, usually your junior and senior year, those classes get a lot smaller. My classes, my senior year, were about 9 to 11 people. So it's really small once you get into your major classes, and it really helps you, focus with you and your professor, and especially when you come to do like senior projects and all that. We also have over 400 registered student organizations. So if you have anything that you're interested in, whether it's sports, music, tech, video games, anything like that, I promise you that you can find a student organizations for you, or you, seven friends, and one faculty advisor, and you can create your own organization. And I actually have a couple of friends who started their own organization just because they thought they couldn't find anything. So that organization grew to 30, 40 members in only 2 years. So if you want to start something, you're like, I want to be the leader, I would recommend that, as soon as you get in, later on, just whenever you want to. Then we are a D1 athletics team, so we're part of the CUSA conference. Uh, right now, football is weird with all the COVID stuff, but we do compete in larger settings. So we're gonna have big turnouts. We're gonna have big games. And you're gonna be able to travel. I know whenever we play SMU, they give the students either free or $10 tickets to travel to SMU, tailgate, T-shirt, just so we can go cheer on our team. And there's some important numbers is that we do have an 82% new freshman retention rate. And that means that once people come here, they want to stay here. A lot of people used to recognize UNT as a transfer school, but we have grown to a school where freshmen actually come in and they are enjoying it. And then with the transfer number 85%, they realize, hey, UNT is the place for me. So, when you're coming in as a freshman, you're going to really find your home. And a little bit about our numbers is that we currently have over 40,000 students. This was actually a record breaking year. Last year we were at 39,000. This year we've grown to an extra 1,000 students. And that's across graduate and commuters, and it's not just freshmen. So I promise when you get on campus, there's not going to be 40,000 people walking around. It's a lot smaller than that, especially when you find your community. You're not going to feel like it's such a huge school. But you can look at some of our diversity numbers. We are classified as a Hispanic serving institution, and basically that means that we do, have the faculty to accommodate for our Hispanic students, and then we are also, able to accommodate for our minority students as well. We are 40%, a little bit over 40% first generation. So we have a lot of students who are coming in, and it's their first time anybody in their family has gone to college. And that's really great because we do offer around $6 to $10 million in scholarships and other financial aid every year. So we give a lot of money away to students, especially those first generation students. They might qualify for a lot more because we know they have a different work ethic. We know they're working harder, and that we like to recognize that and actually give them the chance to attend college and pay for it, because we know that can be a little bit stressful. And just to look at some more of these numbers, we actually have over 2,600 international students from 142 countries. So we have a whole bunch of diversity. And if you're from anywhere, like I said, I promise you can find your space, because we do have a thing called our multicultural center. So that's where a place where students can go if if they're from another country, or if they're just trying to find their community. If they're not a part of the majority already at the school, they can go and find their community there. If we're looking at academic excellence, so we do have, of course, University of North Texas, and then we have 12 different colleges. Then we have our Denton campus, our Frisco campus, which is a part of, the big UNT, not like a UNT Dallas. Then we have our online degree programs. And right now, actually, we're looking at about 50% online classes and 50% in-person classes, just due to COVID. But once COVID is over, most of your classes are going to be online, but in person, but you can always choose to do some online courses if it's easier. I always recommend, if it's like an intro to history and you know that you can read by yourself, I would definitely just go ahead and take that online, get it out the way, get it out the way. It's a lot less stressful. But we offer 106 bachelor's degrees, 88 master's, and 36 doctoral programs. And then 89 of our academic programs are actually ranked amongst the nation's top 100. So we can look at a list at where we sit in our nationally recognized programs. So aviation logistics is number one. Customer experience management, which is our College of Management and Hospitality, is also number one. So we do have a bunch of high-ranking programs. So that's just really upping our credibility and saying, hey, we are a school to look out for. I know we don't get a lot of looks like UT or A&M, but that's because they're a football team. But once you look at our academics, I promise this is where you want to be. Yeah. And that's just a little bit about UNT at Frisco. We only have a few courses out there, and it's mostly geared towards transfer students. But we do have a freshman cohort if you want to be a part of that, and that's going to be uh, our cohort, which is in our design and analysis. So if you're a freshman and you want to go into design and analysis, and that's a 3-year program, and you stay with the same people throughout those 3 years, and it's really good if if you're ready to go into the field and you already know what you want. I would definitely look into that cohort, but that is entirely at our Frisco campus. And like I said, we have those industry partnerships with the Dallas Cowboys. Then we have Toyota, the city of Frisco, and Collin County. Those are just some of our huge partnerships, and that just means we feed a lot of students into internships, into full-time employment through UNT. So, like I said earlier, we do have over 425 plus student organizations. And these are some of the things that they can be geared towards. So you have your academic orgs, creative, Greek life, religious, service, club sports. So if you wanted to do sports, not quite on an NCAA level, but you didn't want to do just intramural sports where you're just playing against the others, your other, dorm mates or anything like that. Club sports are really good to get involved with because you're playing against other universities. So you are still competing. You're not just, going, having a t-shirt and then, going to get some Whataburger after. They're having practices and they're actually really competing. But once you do come onto campus, we do have 16 dining halls. 16 residence halls with 5 dining halls, and our 6th dining hall is going to be opening up real soon here. So we are very famous for our Mean Greens Cafe. That is the very first 100% vegan cafeteria in the United States. So if you're vegan, you like, I don't want to even be around any animal products. No animal products actually enter the cafeteria at all. So there's no risk of cross contamination, anything like that. And then we also have our Kitchen West, which is 100% allergen free of the big 8. So if you're allergic to peanuts, dairy, shellfish, anything like that, you will be guaranteed that there's no cross contamination. You don't even have to worry about it. You can go, eat safely, come out, and be on your way. But then we have over 1,000 concerts hosted by College of Music every year. Like I said, Denton has a huge music life, but so does UNT. So those 1,000 concerts, I would say about 99% of them are free for students. So you can go to about 3 concerts a day for free. Opera, they're blowing out their lungs, so they make you pay for the opera. But your regular band performances, orchestras, things like that, those are going to be free. And if you are interested in music, you don't have to be a music major to actually be able to perform or be a part of one of the bands. Wait a minute, that's me down there. I've never noticed that. That's me and my friend Kiki. We did a photo shoot for UNT last year. But when it comes to athletics, I kind of talked a little bit about this. We are D1 and we are into USA. These are all the sports teams that are D1. And then we have our club sports, which I talked about. They're more competitive and they're not quite like intramural sports. And intramural sports, like I said, it's going to be you, your friends in your dorm, people across campus. So racquetball, basketball, flag football, even a Quidditch, which is a game in Harry Potter. I've never read or saw Harry Potter, but if you can do it, it's a really fun way to to get involved. And then we have our huge residence hall cup. So once you live on campus your first year, that residence hall cup is super fun. They have like inflatables. You do like a dorm, like 20-person tug of war. It's absolutely wild. But those are just some of the things that you can get involved into athletics. And one thing actually unique about our athletics is that unlike a lot of universities, all of our athletic games you can get in free. All you have to do is swipe your ID card or get a ticket in advance online. You don't have to pay to go to any of our football games, basketball games, soccer. And our soccer team has won the past 4 years CUSA championship. So you can go see the championship team for free. So keep that in mind, because I know when I was searching for college, one thing that really shocked me is that I would have to pay an extra, $90, $100, $150 just to go to a football game. So keep that in mind. But when it comes to student support services, we have everything across that you can do. So we have our academic support services, advising. So if you need help finding a major or any classes, then we have our Office of Disability Access. If you have any type of disability that will affect your learning or affect the way you get around campus, you can go ahead and report with them, and they will make sure that campus and classes are accessible, and they will even contact your professors for you to be like, hey, this student needs this accommodation. They will make sure that gets handled for you to make your learning and living on campus as easy as possible. Then we have a learning center, math lab, writing center, and that's all just to help you like with tutoring. If you need any help, before a test or homework, they won't do the homework for you, but they will definitely, guide you to the right direction. And you can use that for all of your intro undergraduate classes, lower level like your math, like your calculus, algebra, but once you get into your major classes, those they get much smaller, and you will have to actually go to your major's specific office. And then we have things for well-being and safety. So we have our student health and wellness center, especially just like a doctor's office. And then we have counseling services, and that's actually free for students for a limited amount of sessions. Then we have dog therapy. I don't know if you can see this little dog here. Our dog therapy is actually, they come out mostly around finals time because they know it's super stressful for students. So they'll bring the dogs out to the union or to the library mall, and you can just pet them for hours. But if not, if you want to do a smaller session with the dog, they will actually give you a personality test to match you with a certain dog. So I think that's really cool. Just saying, hey, I'm more quiet and reserved. I need a dog that's more quiet and reserved. So it's really nice to have that option. And then we also have our multicultural center, which I told you was about if you wanted to find your community, if you are of a different culture that's not a majority. So, we have our African student organization, and then out from there you have Nigerian student organization, you have Ghanaian, and you have Caribbean. So we have all of those just so people can be more comfortable here on campus. And then one big thing that is very important is going to be our career center. They help you with uh, any type of internships. If you want to get interview training, they would do mock interviews with you. If you didn't have a business outfit, they will actually help you get an outfit for no extra cost. So I would definitely use a career center. Once you get on campus, first or second year, you're looking for those internships. Use that career center because they help you, and then they offer free resume building workshops as well. And no matter how advanced you think you are, your resume can always be better. I promise you that my resume can be better. So just go to the career center and say, hey, help me. I want this job. I want to come to this career fair. And we have about 5 or 6 career fairs every single semester. So you're having one about every month. And that's just so, people do have, they have the opportunity to speak with employers and, get potential jobs. And I got an offer for an internship just by volunteering at a career fair, mostly because I was able to be laid back and I didn't have to put on too much of a front. But of course, when you're there and you're there with your resume, put on that front, have that nice suit on, and be ready to speak. Now, this is what's important for y'all. It's going to be our freshman admission requirements. So, because of COVID, we've actually changed our admissions requirements with SATs. So, we don't require SAT if you have a SAT or ACT score if you meet an unweighted GPA of 3.0. So, that's on a 4.0 scale. If you have a 3.0, you can actually get automatically admitted. Now, if you go below that, and you don't have any SAT or ACT scores, then we'll do individual review. But if you do have SAT, ACT scores, and your school is ranking, this is what it'll be looking like. So if you're in the top 10%, you can actually have any score on either test. You just have to submit that uh, with your application. Or I'm assuming your top 10%, you have a GPA over 3.0, so that's pretty much automatic for you. And then if you're in the next 15, these are the numbers 50 through 74, and here are the numbers down. But there's always circumstances where if you're like not meeting it quite exactly on the mark, we will work with you to get you admitted. We might ask for an essay or a letter of recommendation. We will do anything to help you get in. And if you have any AP credits or dual credit courses, we'll definitely put that in when it comes to taking your classes and putting it towards your college courses. So this is what our timeline is going to look like for freshmen. So our application was open on July 1st, and then so it's we do rolling admission. So we don't have a hard deadline, but our priority deadline is going to be March 1st, just because we do have a scholarship deadline for scholarship, of course. We do have a scholarship deadline, so we do want students to be admitted by then, just so they can make sure they are in time to apply for those scholarships. And then we have our FAFSA priority date. That's just to make sure that you have it in, and even if you have not been admitted at the time, just go ahead and do your TAFSA or FAFSA, and then put UNT on there if you are considering applying to UNT, just so we can already have that on hand. And then once you apply, we already have your TAFSA or FAFSA. And then mid-January is going to be the housing application. We don't know the exact date just yet, but once that opens up, that's going to be, a separate application that you do. And you don't have to be admitted to actually do the application, but you do have to put your own admissions app in so you can have an ID number to actually apply for housing. And then in the summer is when you're going to have your orientation sessions. And then in August is going to be Mean Green Move In, first flight week, and then the start of classes. But this is a rough guideline for a rough timeline for what we have. And if you've already applied and got accepted, that general scholarship application will be opening up real soon. So just be on the lookout for that. So college is expensive. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you that. But it can always be reduced by doing your TAFSA, doing your FAFSA, or applying for scholarships. You never know what you're gonna get if you don't apply. And if you're going to any university, I tell this: apply for every single scholarship that you think you may qualify for. And sometimes you might have to write an essay, but a lot of the scholarships actually use similar essays. It's kind of like, hey, what have you gone through? What challenges have you had to overcome? So I recommend right now, getting a strong essay in, and I'm sure your college advisor is telling you this: get a strong essay, and you might have to tweak it for scholarships, but apply to every single scholarship, because even something that's $250, $500, when you look at these numbers, it doesn't seem like a lot, but I promise you those will add up very quickly. But our rough cost of attendance for freshmen that are living on campus is going to be around 26,000. But that is also a variable cost. So that includes, transportation. You might not spend $1,000 on gas, and books are, if you know how to play the game, books are not going to cost you $1,000 per year, I promise. But some of the fees that aren't really variable are going to be your room and board, your mandatory fees, and your tuition. So your tuition is based on how many hours you take, and 12 hours is full time, but 15 hours is recommended for you to finish in 4 years flat. It's going to be 15 hours per semester to equal up to 120 hours for your graduation. But that is going to be like your tuition and your fees, and then books, supplies, transportation, and personal. Those are all going to be kind of based on what you do. So don't expect these huge numbers once you see it. It's all dependent on what you do, how you go about it. If you apply for scholarships, if you get any grants or loans as well. Oh, as we're talking about it, and these are the ways that it's going to actually help alleviate some of those costs. So you're going to have your FAFSA, TASFA. Then we have a save and soar tuition plan, which is very nice if you know that you want to finish college in 4 years flat. That save and soar is going to actually give you discounts on summer classes and winter semester classes, just to ensure that you finish in those 4 years, and it actually locks in your tuition rate. So usually tuition goes up every single year, but with the Save and Soar plan, your tuition is locked in from the first year, and then you finish in 4 years, you've saved thousands of dollars. And then we have our Excellence Scholarship, which is going to be basically based on your test scores and your class ranking, and it can be from $1,000 to $10,000 per year. So if you know you're high ranking and you're looking to take the test, I would definitely take your SAT or ACT several times to get the highest score because we do super score. Take it several times if you are able to, just so you can possibly get the highest amount on a UNT Excellence Scholarship. Then we have our Emerald Eagles program. I was actually a part of that for all 4 years I was at UNT, and they cover the cost of tuition. So for example, I had a lot of scholarships that covered my tuition, so they just gave me an extra $1,000 because my tuition was already paid for. But if you didn't have any other scholarships or anything else, that Emerald Eagles Scholars Program will for sure cover your tuition for 4 years as long as you meet their requirements, which actually aren't very crazy. Then we have our Multicultural Scholastic Award. That is a separate application that you can do on your own, and it's $500 per semester. So that's going to be $4,000 over the 4 years. So that's a very good one. Like I said, 500 compared to 26,000 doesn't seem like a lot, but I promise you, it is, and it's really going to help you. Then we have our Terry Scholars Program and our National Merit Scholars Program. And these are some of the events that we're going to have coming up at UNT. Our final fall preview is going to be this Saturday. If you go to untpreview.unt.edu, you're going to see what majors and what colleges will be speaking at that event. And then if you want to take a tour of UNT, we are doing in-person tours now. So just visit tours.unt.edu. You can do in-person or you can do virtual, whatever you prefer, and just come get a feel of campus because no matter where you go, no matter what school you're interested in, it's more about how you feel on that campus. I would recommend if you can tour as many schools as possible if you're staying in the Texas area. I know a couple of future students are actually taking a trip down 35, so they're going, to us, they're going to UT, UTSA, and they're actually doing that because college is really about where you feel home because it's going to be your home for 4 years. So no matter where you choose to go, make sure you like it there and make sure you really feel like you belong there. That's my most important tip. And then second off is whichever one offers you the most amount of scholarships. Those are two most important factors when it comes to college for sure. But this is my contact information. Once again, my name is Sheree Campbell. Here is my contact information. This is my office number. I'm in the office every other day. And then you can make an appointment with us via appointments.unt.edu. And I am your regional counselor. So if you have any questions, please just reach out to me, and I'll be sure to try to answer all of them. All right, and I'm gonna stop to share my screen. And if you have any questions,